I think in the last video I mentioned that I'd had some issues with this locking pin. This is a Reese locking pin. They're very common. You've seen them in a lot of places. But let me show you what I've found. Notice that I'm back to the old school cotter pin. I'm going to look for another locking pin though, but it's not going to be a Reese. And let me show you why. So let me see if I can show you this with my old shaky hands here. If not, I'll put a still picture in there anyway just to show you. But you see right there? You see that crack? And then if you rotate it 180 degrees, let me see if I can tilt it. There's another crack forming right there that's not quite as significant. But so the question I have is, what happens if it cracks all the way through? Do these two pieces fall out and then you actually lose your locking mechanism and the whole thing goes to hell on you? Because there's only 3 ball bearings inside this thing. I don't know if you can see them. I think you can. But you see those 3 ball bearings in there? I'm trying to keep it steady with my old shaky hands. But that's all that's holding that on. So I'm not opposed to the locking pin. I think it's a good idea. But I'm opposed to this one for sure. So the takeaway from this for me is no more Reese locking pin. I'm gonna go find something maybe a little higher quality. I don't know, this was about 20 bucks. Meantime, I'm gonna use my old school stuff. But the other takeaway is walk around your camper, your truck, everything. Check it often, because every time I go around this trailer after a trip, I find something that it needs attention. Screws loose, or something's falling off, or something's loose. I mean, you know, these things are just not made well. I think everybody that owns one of these things knows that. Here's another tip for you, and this is pretty important, at least it is for me. Get out of the habit, when you're working around your trailer hitching stuff, get out of the habit of putting stuff up here. See that little kink right there? I don't know if you can see it. But I put a hammer there one time and I opened my tailgate. And that's what did that. Well, there's one here. There's actually a bigger one here. That's the ball peen hammer that I had right there. So just keep that in mind. Everybody does it. I still do it occasionally, and I catch myself and say, no, don't do that. So anyway, no more Reese locking pins for me. I reached out to Reese to see if they had any feedback or anything. They can't upload a picture. But this is only about a year old. You remember when I posted those videos about almost lost my camper? Well, I went out and bought one of these things thinking that I was buying some extra security. And I should have. I'm not knocking the idea of having a lock and pin for sure. But this particular one, this is an issue here. And I think it's just cheaply made. And apparently Reese doesn't want to get back to me. You would think they would, because it seems pretty important, but maybe not. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my video, and I'm going to move on to my next little project. Till next time, adios.